Greetings and salutations. I won't beat around the bush this time, so let's just get right into it. Jimmybang versus Poofer. You know you're really in for a treat when the thread title alone is basically the fourth saddest thing you've ever heard of, right after the Holocaust, September 11th, and frosted mini checks. But considering every time I try to delete my account here, Twop decides to go all hal on me and not let me proceed, I guess I have no choice but to judge this. Jimmybang, in case anyone was wondering while looking at his ab, that isn't actually his beard growing down, it's actually his pubic hair growing up. Now, I usually enjoy reading Jimmy's posts, even if most of his posts are the equivalent of a princess licking the hallucinogenic drug off a frog's back and just imagining he's a prince. But I still like the self-deprecating humor, as well as the caustic shock value that some of his more silly posts contain. Oddly enough, none of his posts in the match contained any of this, but he did make 6 throwaway posts and 2 long skits about wrestling that I'll get to in a minute. I'll tell you right now though, they were fucking tedious to read, and I honestly would have preferred he forego that whole Bermuda Triangle-esque vortex of time-wasting bullshit altogether and just respond to Poofer directly. Poofer, obviously not a very well-read poster. I'm sure he's read The Very Hungry Caterpillar and The Grouchy Ladybug several times, including the scary parts, which would explain his semi-tenuous grasp of the English language in general, but at least he tried to engage his opponent head-on and flame him directly, rather than try to sound all tough and Trey Underground, while simultaneously trying to eat a Starburst without taking the wrapper off first. Poofer's posts are long-winded, but they usually have some funny lines in them. If I told you Poofer always makes sense and makes me laugh, that would be about as believable as someone telling you that the Charleston Chew was actually invented by the Confederacy as a battle snack for rebel soldiers. It just isn't true. Meanwhile, Jimmybang is throwing away posts, and for someone who I'd consider one of the top photochoppers in the game, he posts a Google pic and a really bad chop of Poofer with bunny ears. In short, more self-deprecating humor and quality chops, and less running around the thread like a midget dying on impact after a death leap from his 13-foot platform boots. Just pathetic. Also, the unnecessary text formatting made certain posts tedious to read. Long rants about wrestling made me want to blow Poofer's head off with a fireball, roast the skin off his bones, and use what's left of his skeleton to clean the barrel of my gun. And that was tedious to read as well. If you guys want to talk to each other about wrestling and how Rey Mysterio's mask occasionally gets heated enough to cook a Hot Pocket, do it on your own time. Jimmybang, I laughed a few times at things like homo on homo action and that one line about maintaining a strong rectal grip, but that's about it. The second post might as well have applied to anyone since he only bothered to flame Poofer in the last paragraph. It actually seemed like a last-minute effort to countervail Poofer's word count and little else, but I could be wrong. I would have preferred he did the whole quote war thing and tried to dissect Poofer's posts rather than doodle in his Hello Kitty notebook and perform trichotillomania on his split-end-infested hair and waste everyone's time. Poofer also had a good angle with the whole tranny thing. He also didn't beat it into the ground as much as V-Agent does. I still have to give Jimmybang credit, however, for making Poofer spin particularly wild and post that long rant about wrestling. Anyway, there were way too many throwaway posts in the match, and those 2 skits Jimmy posted almost gave me a Charlie Sheen-like brain hemorrhage from perpetually cocked eyebrows from the sheer banality of it all, particularly the second post. Some funny stuff here and there, but ultimately only occasionally mentions Poofer in passing, which doesn't really hold up very well against the more direct nature of Poofer's posts. Therefore, my vote goes to Poofer. Poofer's a blowhard, and Jimmy could have won it if he flamed him the way he flamed V-Agent and all of the women here. You know, trying to mess with their head and gross them out and lull them into a state of false security. Basically, next time, drop skits and spend more time telling Poofer to worship you, and if it would be impolite for you to noisily slurp the curdled stomach contents of an orangutan. That kind of random messed up stuff makes me laugh. Don't really think Jimmybang used his full arsenal here, or lived up to his potential, so my advice to him is to take a little time off, walk down to the local pawn shop while pulling a hand grenade, otherwise known as farting into your closed fist, They're bringing up the fresh catch for a close-up snifferoo, and I'm sure he'll feel much better. All in all, it's been fun watching people as they insult each other and engage in bum fights with each other over the internet. But Poofer did just enough to edge out a somewhat convincing win here, due to the somewhat lazy and unstructured nature of his opponent's posts. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I'm gonna go do something a bit more productive with my time, like go sit on the couch, watch some TV, and eat some teddygrams. You know, now that I think about it, I bet that somewhere out there, there's some guy named Theodore Graham, whose life got ruined by the invention of teddygrams. Just a thought. Oh yeah, I dedicate this match to Zeno. First name Zeno, last name I won't say it because I don't post PI. But yeah, I'm thinking about you, Zeno. I'm thinking Arby's. Good match, guys. Enjoy the complimentary Arby's. Zeno!